Welcome back to XRP on Moon, your go-to destination for everything Ripple and XRP. If you've ever dreamed of holding a massive stack of XRP, then today's video is one you absolutely cannot afford to miss. We are diving into a truth that few people want to face. 99% of investors will never own 5,000 XRP. And it's not just about money, it's about timing, strategy, and understanding the market in a way most people never do. By the end of this video, you'll understand why accumulating 5,000 XRP is so rare, what separates the successful holders from the masses, and why this milestone could define the future of your crypto portfolio. To start, let's put the numbers into perspective. XRP has a total supply of 100 billion tokens, but not all of these are available to the public. A significant portion remains controlled by Ripple Labs in escrow with limited monthly releases into circulation. This creates a supply and demand dynamic that most casual investors overlook. Acquiring 5,000 XRP in this environment is not just a matter of buying when you feel like it. It requires understanding liquidity, timing, and the subtle moves of the market. Every month, the limited supply released can move prices in ways that make accumulation either easier or much harder, depending on how prepared you are. The first major hurdle for most investors is timing. Retail investors tend to enter the market too late, chasing hype or reacting to short-term price surges. They buy XRP when the price is already high, hoping to catch the next wave, but by the time they've accumulated a few hundred tokens, early adopters and disciplined holders are already consolidating thousands. In contrast, those who reach 5,000 XRP often started years ago or during key market dips, buying consistently when others were panicking. Timing is everything, and missing even a small window can mean the difference between holding a few hundred XRP and crossing the 5,000 mark. Distribution is another critical factor. With Ripple controlling billions of tokens and releasing them gradually, liquidity is constrained. When demand spikes, prices can move quickly, and those without a plan find themselves priced out. Imagine trying to accumulate 5,000 XRP during a market surge. Even small price movements can turn what seemed like an achievable goal into a financial challenge beyond most retail investors' reach. This scarcity effect is one reason why the top 1% of holders manage to accumulate so much, while the majority remain far behind. Psychology also plays a huge role. Many investors sell too early, driven by fear or the desire for quick profits. Market volatility triggers emotional decisions. Panic during dips or excitement during rallies, which often prevents accumulation at the scale needed to reach 5,000 XRP. The rare investors who succeed do the opposite. They buy steadily over time, remain disciplined, and ignore the short-term noise. This patient, methodical approach is the secret that separates the 1% from the 99%. The significance of 5,000 XRP goes beyond the number itself. With Ripple's ongoing partnerships with banks and financial institutions, demand for XRP could surge dramatically in the future. Those who have amassed 5,000 XRP stand to benefit exponentially if adoption accelerates. It's a position of leverage that goes beyond simple trading. It's about long-term financial opportunity. Every XRP accumulated today could be worth far more tomorrow if market conditions shift in favor of Ripple's network and its global financial integration. Moves forward, consider the mindset required to reach this milestone. Most investors remain average because they lack strategy, patience, and foresight. They buy a few hundred XRP here and there, react emotionally to market swings, and never achieve the scale needed to secure serious wealth in the XRP ecosystem. The holders who cross the 5,000 XRP threshold are disciplined, patient, and strategic. They see the market differently, making calculated moves while others chase trends. It's this combination of insight, timing, and restraint that explains why 99% will never reach this milestone and why understanding these principles now is crucial for anyone serious about XRP accumulation. If you thought accumulating 5,000 XRP was about luck or timing alone, think again. The truth is, the people who actually reach this milestone have a set of strategies that most investors overlook entirely. It's not about a single big purchase or guessing the next price surge. It's about consistency, understanding market psychology, and exploiting small calculated opportunities that most retail investors completely ignore. One of the most critical strategies is accumulation during market dips. While the average investor panics when XRP dips, disciplined holders see these moments as golden opportunities. They quietly increase their holdings when the price drops, knowing that short-term fear is often a prelude to long-term gains. This mindset is what allows them to slowly build towards 5,000 XRP while others remain stuck with just a few hundred tokens. Another insider tactic revolves around spreading purchases over time. Instead of trying to buy thousands of XRP in one go, successful holders break down their targets into smaller, manageable chunks. This reduces the risk of overpaying during sudden price spikes and helps maintain a balanced portfolio. By averaging their cost over months or even years, they gradually accumulate substantial positions without triggering panic or stress. Many investors fail because they attempt to time the market perfectly, chasing highs and selling at lows. The top 1% understand that steady accumulation beats short-term speculation almost every time. Understanding XRP's unique market mechanics is also crucial. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, XRP is heavily influenced by Ripple Labs' escrow releases and partnerships with financial institutions. Those who reach 5,000 XRP monitor these events closely, anticipating how new token releases or partnership announcements might affect liquidity and price movements. They watch order books, monitor trading volume, and keep an eye on regulatory news. By aligning their buying strategy with these external factors, they can accumulate more efficiently than those who rely solely on price charts or social media hype. Psychology plays a hidden but equally important role. Most investors sell when the market dips or when they feel impatient, even if long-term fundamentals remain strong. In contrast, high-level XRP holders cultivate discipline and emotional control. They detach their decisions from fear and greed, focusing instead on their accumulation strategy and the long-term potential of the token. This mental edge often determines whether someone stays on track to reach 5,000 XRP or slowly drifts away from their goal. Liquidity management is another secret many overlook. Accumulating thousands of XRP requires knowing when and where to buy without driving the price up against yourself. Large purchases can inadvertently create upward pressure, making the remaining tokens more expensive. Experienced holders use smaller exchanges, multiple accounts, or timed trades to gradually acquire XRP without impacting the market significantly. These tactics may seem minor, but over time they compound into a significant advantage, allowing disciplined investors to outpace the majority. Education is also a critical differentiator. Those who reach 5,000 XRP immerse themselves in market research, learning about blockchain technology, Ripple's business model, and global finance trends. They understand that XRP is not just a speculative token, it's a bridge asset in a system designed to streamline cross-border payments. This knowledge shapes smarter buying decisions and enables them to anticipate shifts that casual investors completely miss. Knowledge, paired with patience and strategy, creates an environment where reaching 5,000 XRP is not only possible but inevitable for those who commit fully. The most successful holders think long-term, viewing XRP accumulation as a journey rather than a quick profit. They understand that short-term volatility is part of the process, and they prepare mentally and financially for fluctuations along the way. They don't chase headlines or panic at every dip. Instead, they stick to their plan, gradually growing their holdings while the masses react emotionally. By combining strategic accumulation, psychological discipline, and deep market understanding, these rare investors achieve what 99% never will: a meaningful position in XRP capable of delivering life-changing returns if the market develops as expected. Timing is everything when it comes to accumulating 5,000 XRP. While strategy, patience, and discipline lay the foundation, knowing when to act is what separates the top holders from the majority. The XRP market doesn't move randomly. Its momentum is influenced by a series of predictable catalysts, both internal and external. Those who reach 5,000 XRP understand this, and they position themselves ahead of these events, capitalizing when others are still hesitant or fearful. One of the first things to watch are Ripple's escrow releases. Every month, a portion of XRP is unlocked, and savvy investors anticipate how the market will absorb this new supply. By buying strategically before and after these releases, they accumulate efficiently, often taking advantage of short-term price dips that many retail investors panic through. Another critical factor is adoption news. Ripple's partnerships with banks, payment providers, and financial institutions are not just PR statements, they are catalysts that influence XRP demand in tangible ways. The moment a new partnership is announced or a pilot program goes live, XRP's utility and perceived value surge. Experienced holders recognize these signals early, positioning themselves to benefit from the ripple effect in the market. It's not about chasing headlines. It's about understanding which announcements truly impact adoption and liquidity, separating noise from opportunity. Market psychology plays a silent but powerful role in timing. Most retail investors react to market movements rather than anticipating them. When XRP experiences sudden volatility, the masses often panic or chase hype, creating temporary inefficiencies that disciplined holders exploit. For instance, a dip triggered by short-term fear can be the perfect entry point for accumulation, while others sell prematurely. These opportunities require emotional control, a calm mind, and the ability to act decisively while the majority reacts emotionally. It's the classic advantage of preparation over impulsivity. Technical patterns also provide timing clues for accumulation. While fundamental factors like adoption and escrow releases set the stage, chart signals, trading volume, and market trends often indicate short-term windows of opportunity. High-level XRP holders combine these technical insights with their understanding of fundamentals to time purchases precisely. They know which price levels represent strong support, where liquidity clusters, and when momentum is likely to shift. By marrying technical awareness with strategic foresight, they turn market movements into reliable accumulation opportunities. Global macro events add another layer of complexity and potential advantage. Currency fluctuations, regulatory shifts, and geopolitical developments can all impact XRP indirectly, affecting liquidity, demand, and investor behavior. For example, when traditional finance faces friction in cross-border payments, Ripple's solution becomes more valuable, and XRP may experience increased interest from institutional players. Those holding XRP and accumulating strategically during these macro-driven periods often see opportunities that are invisible to the average investor, focused solely on daily price swings. Even smaller signals can be leveraged. Monitoring whale activity, transaction volumes, and unusual market flows allows experienced holders to anticipate larger moves. Large XRP transactions between wallets, sudden spikes in trading volume on certain exchanges, or shifts in order books can all indicate where demand is growing. While these may seem subtle, reading between the lines is how the top 1% anticipate market behavior and position themselves ahead of broader trends. Meanwhile, most retail investors either miss these signals or interpret them incorrectly, missing critical opportunities for accumulation. Ultimately, timing isn't just about watching charts or news, it's a holistic understanding of market rhythm, psychology, and the flow of information. Those who succeed in reaching 5,000 XRP treat accumulation like a calculated game, combining discipline with opportunism. They act when conditions are favorable, remain patient when the market hesitates, and take advantage of moments of fear or indecision. By doing so, they accumulate more efficiently than those who chase hype or panic in the face of volatility. Accumulating thousands of XRP is not just about buying at the right time, it's also about protecting what you have and scaling strategically. The reality is that many investors fail not because they lack capital or knowledge, but because they underestimate risk and overextend themselves during volatile periods. The rare holders who reach 5,000 XRP understand that growth and preservation must go hand in hand. They approach accumulation like a careful chess game, balancing every move with both opportunity and protection in mind. The first key is portfolio diversification within XRP itself. Experienced holders don't put all their capital into a single purchase or rely on one exchange. They distribute their holdings across multiple wallets and platforms, ensuring that technical issues, exchange outages, or sudden freezes don't threaten their entire accumulation plan. This simple step, often overlooked by casual investors, can make the difference between steadily reaching a goal and losing progress due to circumstances outside one's control. Equally important is setting acquisition thresholds and limits. Rather than reacting impulsively to price swings, disciplined investors create a plan with defined entry points. For instance, they may allocate a fixed amount of capital for each dip, regardless of how deep or shallow it is. This avoids overcommitting during sudden volatility while still taking advantage of lower prices. By following these limits, they scale their holdings consistently over time without succumbing to emotional decision-making, a common pitfall that keeps 99% of investors far from the 5,000 XRP milestone. Risk management also involves understanding market volatility and liquidity. XRP can experience rapid price swings during moments of high news impact, regulatory updates, or global economic stress. Top holders anticipate these fluctuations and structure their accumulation to mitigate downside risk. They might stagger purchases, hold a portion of capital in reserve for unexpected dips, or even convert small amounts into stablecoins temporarily when uncertainty peaks. These tactics may sound conservative, but over months and years, they allow the accumulation process to continue uninterrupted, while less disciplined investors are forced to sell or panic, losing their chance to scale effectively. Another crucial aspect is monitoring and managing exposure to emotional triggers. The average investor often lets fear and greed dictate decisions, buying too much at a hype-driven high or selling too early at a minor dip. In contrast, strategic XRP holders cultivate emotional resilience. They stick to their plan, knowing that volatility is not the enemy, it is the mechanism through which opportunities emerge. By maintaining a disciplined mindset, they not only survive market swings but actively leverage them to increase holdings efficiently. Scaling accumulation also requires tracking transaction fees and optimizing costs. Buying thousands of XRP isn't just about the token price, it's also about transaction timing, network fees, and exchange spreads. Successful investors monitor these variables, choosing moments and platforms that minimize unnecessary costs. Over hundreds of transactions, these small efficiencies compound, allowing more XRP to accumulate in less time with less capital wasted. It's attention to these seemingly minor details that separate serious holders from casual participants. The elite holders use a long-term vision to guide every action. Risk management isn't just about preventing losses, it's about preserving the capacity to continue accumulating. They understand that the journey to 5,000 XRP is gradual, and each decision must support the bigger picture. Patience, strategy, and disciplined risk management combine to create an environment where growth is consistent and setbacks are manageable. This holistic approach ensures that when the next major XRP opportunity arises, they are ready to act decisively, while others scramble or remain unprepared. Reaching the coveted 5,000 XRP mark is more than just a goal. It's a journey that combines patience, strategy, and foresight. By now, it's clear that the path to this milestone is not reserved for the casual investor. Those who succeed do so by carefully blending consistent accumulation, timing, risk management, and an unshakable mindset. In this final part, let's break down the last steps and insights that can make the difference between average participation and joining the rare 1% of XRP holders who achieve significant scale. Mindset remains the ultimate differentiator. Accumulating thousands of XRP requires a long-term perspective. The market will test patience repeatedly, through dips, spikes, and periods of apparent stagnation. Most investors give up too soon, selling in fear during minor corrections, or chasing hype during unsustainable rallies. The successful holders understand that each market fluctuation is a natural part of the ecosystem. They treat these movements as opportunities to either accumulate more or hold steady, never allowing emotions to dictate their strategy. This psychological discipline is what consistently separates the 1% from the 99%. Next, consider the importance of strategic rebalancing. As holdings grow, investors must continually evaluate their positions, ensuring that accumulation doesn't overexpose them to risk or liquidity constraints. For instance, during particularly volatile periods, some portion of capital may be temporarily shifted into stable assets while maintaining a consistent XRP acquisition schedule. This flexibility prevents overexposure while keeping the accumulation engine running, a balance most casual investors fail to achieve. Advanced holders also keep a close eye on market catalysts and institutional activity. News of new bank partnerships, cross-border payment trials, or regulatory developments can dramatically shift demand for XRP. By monitoring these signals early, Disciplined investors are often able to position themselves ahead of price surges, accumulating efficiently before the broader market reacts. They combine these insights with technical awareness, such as support and resistance levels, to determine optimal entry points, creating a repeatable strategy that compounds over time. Scaling to 5,000 XRP also requires attention to transaction strategy and timing efficiency. Every purchase, no matter how small, matters when aiming for a large accumulation target. Successful investors plan trades to minimize fees, spread purchases to avoid market impact, and take advantage of temporary inefficiencies across exchanges. Over months and years, these small optimizations add up, meaning more XRP acquired with less wasted capital. Meanwhile, most retail investors either overpay, miss critical dips, or act impulsively, keeping them far from the milestone. Accumulating 5,000 XRP is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The rare investors who achieve this do so because they treat every decision, every purchase, every trade, every hold with the lens of long-term accumulation. They are patient, disciplined, and strategic, consistently reinforcing their position while others chase short-term gains or react to market noise. By the time the market recognizes the true scale of their holdings, they have already secured a position that can generate outsized potential returns as adoption and utility expand. Before wrapping up, it's crucial to include a financial disclaimer. None of the strategies discussed here constitute financial advice. Cryptocurrency investments carry inherent risk, including the potential loss of capital. XRP's price is volatile, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Accumulation strategies should be executed carefully, considering personal financial situations, risk tolerance, and investment goals. Always conduct your own research, seek professional guidance if needed, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. The insights shared in this series are meant for educational purposes, highlighting patterns, strategies, and considerations that top holders use, but they do not replace professional advice or guarantee outcomes. Ultimately, reaching 5,000 XRP is a rare achievement because it requires more than money. It demands knowledge, discipline, patience, and strategic foresight. While 99% of investors will never reach this milestone, the top 1% demonstrate that success is possible when every decision is made with purpose and awareness. By understanding market mechanics, timing accumulation wisely, managing risk effectively, and cultivating an unshakable mindset, serious investors can position themselves to take advantage of the potential growth Ripple and XRP may offer in the years ahead. This concludes our 5-part deep dive into why 99% of investors never own 5,000 XRP, the mindset required to achieve it, and the strategies used by those who do. Remember, accumulation is a journey, not a sprint, and thoughtful, disciplined execution is the key to positioning yourself among the rare few who succeed.